Good afternoon. I've just taken my palette out of its Ziploc bag. If you've not tried this, it's good for keeping your paint nice and moist. Thank you to Maria Kellner for this, and my friend who supplied the Ziploc bag. We've only got small ones for our freezer. Right, it's Friday, Good Friday, and I was wondering what's a painter. I've gone back through my, so I put all my records on hard drives. So that's one of Watergate Bay I took last year. I've done it before, well, I've done similar, but I like that bit of light on the ocean there, on Bristol Channel I think it's called, with Newquay and the headland west. The other side of this is a famous surfing beach, such as surfing is in this country, not like Hawaii. It's Fistral on the other side. This is Newquay, a large town on the north-west Cornish coast where we spend a lot of time. This is Watergate Bay. Now, when I did the first of the Cornish tin mine engine house painting, I think there was one here. I'm not sure, but there used to be a sort of a cave, a man-made cave tunnel in the cliffs. But it's gone now because of all this massive rock slide. And I painted lots and lots of rocks, and it looked as if I'd exaggerated, but when you see this, I didn't really. This is all, it's a bit of grass holding things together, but it's very friable. And there are lots and lots of rocks in this very steep piece of cliff there now. So I'll have a go. I can't do all these rocks. I'll make that as simple as possible. Just add a few, but a note that the rocks really are covered in algae or seaweed, and so they're quite green, quite an acid green. So we'll have a go. I'm accompanied today not by my usual cup of tea, but by a glass of my homemade beer. I haven't got many faults, but this is one of them. Cheers. Ah, that's good. Right, okay. I'll wet the paper all over. And I'll put the cliff in. Ooh, that's a bit heavy. With dark paint, but I'll brighten the scene up. This is overexposed on the camera, of course, looking into the light. I took it, I think, either with my phone, my Nokia phone camera, or the camcorder. Don't know if I remember which. When I say Nokia phone, it's nothing special. It's only an ordinary phone. It's got quite a good camera on it. Okay, so we'll warm up the sky with some raw sienna. Just give a general warmth, unify the whole lot. If you haven't seen the Ron Ransom, or video on Ron Ransom made by Mike Porter yet, have a look. It's worth a visit. Then you'll see where the big brush watercolour comes from, the hake and so on. And the butcher's, so this is a small version, and Ron Ransom didn't use his paints dry like this. He used them straight from the tube, which is a great way of painting, and I do demonstrate that, as you know, from time to time. Right, I'll just let that, well, I'll put a sky in while it's wet, but I want this area to dry off a little bit before I go in with the cliffs. So, a bit of blue, because there is some blue. Now, the sun over that side, that would be late afternoon, Watergate Bay, because the sun sets that way, or that way. The sun is about here. At noon it's about here. So you have to take my word for it. We're just going for some lighter. Oh, where's my cloth? I lost my cloth. It was drying off from yesterday. That's it. Right, okay. Just a bit of light blue, bit on the water here, and we'll put in some bit of cloud, bit of light cloud. Bit of grey in there, I think. Just a dark bit in the shadow. So I'm mixing a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of ultramarine, and a bit of light red. So just coming across here and into the sea there. Right, I'll reclip the paper. The palette I'm using, if you're not, or if you're watching for the first time, is lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. Just 8 colours. I don't use them all at any one time, and some I use a lot more than others. I don't use a lot of alizarin for some reason, but it's on Ron Ranson's palette, so I use it. But you use what colours you like. You get used to certain things, but a fatal mistake I've always found, as far as my painting goes, that if I get stuck, like mostly with greens, to throw various greens into the mix, and it always goes wrong. Better to get to know your colours. These are it's almost primaries. The burnt sienna is a reddy colour, and the burnt umber is a very, very dark red. The yellow, lemon yellow and the raw sienna, they're primaries. The alizarin and light red are primaries, as is the ultramarine. The Payne's grey isn't. That's a mixture of black, ultramarine I think, or indigo, and alizarin. It's a shortcut to grey. It's not a bad colour, but you can overuse these things. Right, I don't want that too soft. I'm just going to dry that, so if you're listening on headphones, take them off, otherwise you'll blow your eardrums. Okay. Now I know some of you struggle with skies. I've done thousands of them. I struggle with skies. Why should it be easy? You have to work for it, you know. Just because you can't paint a masterpiece in the first couple of times doesn't mean to say you can't do it. You just have to practice and practice and practice. So I'll put in my horizon now. But to do the horizon here, it's got the light on it, so really it's easy to do in oil and acrylic, but with watercolour it's not. You need dark there and keep, probably that needed to be a bit darker on that horizon. But if I get a tissue and lift out this here, it might just show. That will be the bit of sparkle on the water. It just about shows. Light against dark, as always, and just petering off to nothing there. Okay, so that, I hope that shows enough. Could have gone a little bit darker in that. Yes, I can see it on the camera. It does seem to work. Right, now I want that colour for the headland. That of the colour, I said, the sky colours. Unity of colour throughout the picture. So we've got, right, so we just put in Fistral, or Fistral head. it's very bracing up here. We've done it many times. That's gone wrong. That's the problem when you're doing it with a hake. You can't always see where it is, where the bristles are. But I'll clean it out again. And there's sort of hotels on the top here. We've walked this many times over 30 years or so. It's very lovely. The flesh pot of Newquay. That's not quite right there, so let's just alter that. Go this one there. Alright, I've gone a bit high there in that bit. There's just like a bit stuck on there, so isthmus. Oh, interestingly, there's a white building here somewhere, about here, on the top of the cliff, which was the Hewers hut. And they, in the old days, before mobile phones, of course, about 400 or 500 years ago, they would fish for mackerel or sprats or whatever, and they'd have somebody with a fire in this. It's like a little chapel, and he would watch out for the boiling sea, which would be the fish, of course, and would light a beacon or shout, and the word would get around, and the fishermen would take the boats out and catch all the fish while it was inshore. And it's a lovely little building. It's well maintained. You can't go in it. You get vandalised. The jobs we have. Right, let's see if I can just keep that nice and clean along there. Sorry, this is going to take a little while. Oops, got a bit behind there. Right, let's just go back, get that in again. There's absolutely no detail on here. That'll do. Okay, now we get this cliff in. That will come down from here and go across here. I won't make it quite as big as I've shown it. So we'll use those colours. Just put them in there. They're sort of silhouetted. Bit of red. Can't do portraits of these things. Got a nice bit of yellow ochre. A lot of yellow ochre in this. Okay, so it gets dark in there. Bit of lemon yellow. There's some green. Then I'll get busy with the plastic card. Then the silhouetted rough terrain here. And then that all comes. Can't really see those colours here now. And that beach comes all the way across here. Got some of that yellow in for the greens, some spare rocks. Okay, now I want to get some nice wet dark in here, in this shadow area. at the shapes. Right, okay. Right, let's get busy with the card, just to create an impression that these are fat rocks, and they are visible, although I'm having to guess some of this because of the camera. It's in the right on the top there. Right, a good bit of sienna in there, raw sienna. Okay, let's just wet it a little up. We'll put a bit of green on the top. Just clinging to the cliffs there. Okay, that'll do. You can do a lot of things when the paint is wet, but there's lots of this. But some of the rocks are quite big and some are quite small. Right, and we're going to be really busy in a moment just doing this. Okay, so we've got a good effect here, look. It looks like rock, and by scraping the paint, it moves it into a shadow. So you're doing 2 or 3 planes at the same time. That will do. That's all I want to do with that. Right, now we've got to put in rocks on this beach, and there's quite a bit of sand and pebbles and, well, no, pebbles, shells and bits and pieces, bits of slate. It's mostly slate with various other minerals thrown in. Excuse me, I have a swig. Now, a good colour for sand is burnt umber, but I'll have to soften it a little bit. Burnt umber, bit of sienna. So we just put it in. Then as it dries, we'll superimpose some rocks over it, and we have a bit of Payne's grey in there, a bit of red. Warm it up as we come in towards our feet. Okay. Right, I'll give that a bit of a dry. I'm making this up as I go along, the techniques of this. Now when I put the paint on again, the dark bits, but we're going to have some greens. So Payne's grey, a lot of lemon yellow. So we'll put some of these in here. So when we scrape, some of that will be left. So now we can go with the blue and the red. I might do bits of this at a time, but just all sorts of shapes here. Going to have to really work fast on this with a big card. So big card. That's one I want. Right, so let's start scraping. Just that tint of green. And then big ones here. I can do a bit of brushwork on these. Now the light's coming from that way. And really this is genuinely like this. Okay. So we'll put in some dark. I'll use a bit of blue, a bit of red and a bit of Payne's grey. So because of the set of the shadows, just give that impression that these are rocks, and there are 3 planes to the rocks. Okay, it's just coming to life a little bit. I've walked these rocks many times. Okay, I'll just put some more dark just in here. Right, okay, that's about that for the moment. Now I can see some people on the beach beyond there. It's very sandy, but the tide goes out quite a way, and it's beautiful, beautiful sand. But you can't walk all the way from Watergate Bay into Newquay. There's a large head round the corner here, sticking out, and you have to. That's Porth Beach, and you have to go across the beach, walk into the village. It's all on the edge of Newquay. But wonderful views, absolutely incredible place. Go there for a holiday if you're in this part of the world now. I've got to try to show that, keep that sparkle, but there's a bit of sand here, so let's use that burnt sienna, burnt umber, bit of Payne's grey, and a bit of water. There's a bit of sienna in there as well, and just gently suggest that. Okay, now I've got some bits of tide, bits of quiet, just the little wavelets. Yeah, I'm making this up as I'm going along. And that is quite a bit of dark shadow there. But no more than that. Just a bit dark there. But I've tried to preserve this bit there. Hold no breath. Okay, that is all I'm going to do there. Now I need to put some figures in, so I'll give it a dry. So this will be late afternoon, and I'll use a rigger for the figures, So here we are. So we've just got some greyish, sort of. There's a lot of grey figures down here because they're all wearing their lemming outfits, their wetsuits. Just scratch it. Being a Cowley, coming here most years for a couple of weeks. It's a long drive for us. From my door it's 265 miles, which might seem nothing if you're American, but our roads aren't so forgiving. Got a little board in, carrying the boards. I'm hoping this will dry quite lighter. It's reckoned to be the surfing capital of Europe, this Watergate Bay. It's just on the edge of the beach here. It's just going out to catch the wave, the biggie. So nothing very much. Oops. Don't like him. But lots of little figures in. Bit of shadow there, or reflection. That'll do. Right, there's a bit of water in here that I've forgot to put in, like rock pools, but there are a lot of rocks, and short of painting every single one as an individual rock, which I'm not prepared to do. I wouldn't do it even if I was doing it for myself and not demonstrating. It would just take me too long, and everybody get bored and want to go home. Right, okay, let's, I will put a couple of seagulls in, because we get a lot of seagulls around here. There's a lovely pub here, I think it's called The Fort, and it looks out all across Watergate Bay. It's going towards Padstow. Oh, it's a fabulous, nice day. It's just the end of the world, end of the earth. Just wonderful. So, that's Cornwall for you. When we go past Exeter, over into Cornwall, it's like going into Merlin's country, if you know what I mean. Just glorious. Right, here we are. Bloom out. Okay, so there we are, the Watergate Bay, my version of it. A little bit muddy here. I probably should have left some blue in there, but that's for another day. That is just a bit too thick there. It should have been a bit lower. I'll show you the on the computer screen. There it is. There we are. That's what we've done. Let's come into it. Right, there's Newquay. Not quite right, but there's my rocky shore there, and there's my cliff. Very easy to paint. It might be a bit of a bodge, techniquey, but hey, for half an hour. Masterpieces take a bit longer. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.